Welcome folks to another FM26 Rebuild, and we're going to head over to Scotland where one of my favourite teams seem to be struggling a little bit, and it's been a good couple of years since we've done this particular save. And yes, you've guessed it, we are at Aberdeen. Aberdeen have been struggling of late, however they have picked up a little bit of form, and looking at the table they are just sitting outside the top half of the table. 17 points. They have struggled quite a lot with losing 6 games, but they are unbeaten in 6 games themselves actually, I think. I'm not sure whether that includes 5 wins and a draw, possibly. It could be 2 draws and 4 wins, I don't know, but they are really struggling. 10 goals scored, 12 against. They're not conceding an awful lot, but at the same time they are not scoring any at all really, but they are finding the wins out of nothing. The recent one coming away from home at Livingston and winning that one on just 1-0. So this is where we're going to step in, and we're going to help them over the next 5 seasons to try and get them back to winning ways, consolidate them as a top half of the Premiership team, and also see them trying to split up the teams above them, including Rangers, Celtic and possibly Hearts at the moment, who seem to be struggling themselves a little bit, having let Celtic catch up with them. So as we begin, we're going to head over to the club finances and have a look, see what we're dealing with. We have got 500,000 in the kitty for this season. Whether or not we'll be able to sign anybody remains to be seen. 5 grand a week in wages, it looks highly unlikely, but you never know. We have got 4.5 million in the bank, and as of yet, no debts remaining. The club vision for this season is be competitive in the Europa League, so that's good to see that they are in a European competition, so that's going to help wonders. Qualify for the Europa Conference League. Okay, so is that a minimum, or do they want us to be in the Conference League? I don't know. Reach the latter stages of the Scottish Cup and the latter stages of the League Cup. Nothing about the league. I'm guessing that's just to qualify, so that we need to be in the top 3-4 teams, I think. They want us to work within the wage budget as well, and the culture is to play entertaining football and develop players using the club's youth system. Well, we'll see what we've got to play with in just a second. They want to qualify for the Europa League next season, continue qualifying for the Europa League. Okay, so there's no ambitions to win the league. Whether or not we can do that in 5 seasons will be, well, remains to be seen, but it'd be great if we could do it. Staffing wise, we're okay on the coaching. We've got 11 of the 17. Recruitment team doesn't look too bad either, and the medical team not too bad either as well, so we're okay on that front at least anyway. So looking at the club honours listing then, so they did win the Cup Winners' Cup back in 1983, the UEFA Super Cup in 83 as well, the Premiership last being won in 1985, which is, wow, 40 years ago. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a long time ago, but there have been runners up in 2016, 15, 16, 17 and 18, so they weren't doing too bad. I'm guessing that's when Rangers weren't back in the Premiership, I guess. 3rd place as recently as 2023. The Scottish Cup they did win last season in 25, the League Cup in 2014, being runners up in 23, and the Ayrshire Cup in 2005. I don't think we'll be winning that one anytime soon, I don't think. Who knows, we might do if we're in that competition, I guess. But yeah, no European trophies apart from the Cup Winners' Cup and the Super Cup, but that was 40 plus years ago now. And yeah, the Premiership as well. So with the squad, we've looks like a decent squad looking by the star ratings, ability ratings, etc. If we have a look at age wise, we've only got 4 players 13 above. That's pretty good actually, with one of the better players being Stuart Armstrong, and again he looks pretty decent, especially for this division I think as well. 53 caps for his country also. We have got a couple of youngsters as well. Dylan Laban, he's got good potential, same with Bilovic, again not too bad, 20 years old. Look to have him play as much as possible, see if we can develop him quickly. And we've also got Alfie Dorrington. I'm guessing he's on loan to us from Spurs. Okay, so it would have been nice to keep him, but he is worth 16 million. We're not going to have that sort of money, I don't think, but while he's here we may as well utilise him. We've also got 20-year-old Emmanuel Guamfi, a left back, anywhere on that left hand side, pretty quick as well, that's nice. We've also got Lasetic, striker, 21 years old, 11 finishing, it's not too bad. I'm not quite sure if he's any good or not though, to be fair. We've also got another loanee in the name of Adel Ucic, left winger is he? He is a CAM player as well, actually. He's only 22 years old, but he's on loan from Sunderland, worth 7 million. So, yeah, that's going to be quite difficult. Alexander Jensen. We've also got Milanovic, left side, right side winger. Not too bad. I mean, some of the players that have got are pretty good. Any high potential players can we bring in? Dorrington, obviously, and Lasetic as well, and also Bialovic. And, yeah, some players that hopefully we'll get to utilise, especially these high profile players also. It doesn't look like we've got anybody in the reserves, so that's interesting. Under 19s, a fair few if we look by potential. Lewis Correll, he's 17 years old. Centre back, 5'11". We shall see. Mitchell Frame, in fact, he's 19 years old. He could actually come into the first team, but yeah, he's got high potential, but I can't see it myself. He's got good pace, got good determination. Everything else seems to be a little bit lacking though, unfortunately. And a lot of players, I'm assuming these are out all on loan. They've got Ross County, so it looks like they're on loan, all these players, which is good because they will need the game time. Premiership for this season, we are predicted to finish in 5th position, so they're only 2 positions off in real life at the moment. 33-1 to win the league, together with Hearts and Hibs, of which Hearts are doing remarkably well at the moment. But like I said earlier, they seem to have let Celtic in with a shout at the moment. And Rangers second place. So I think the Rangers are struggling a little bit also. But we have got an average squad age of 24, which is nice. Should be able to build a team around players that will stay around for quite a while as well. So I guess first things first will be to sort a formation out, see which players we are going to be using quite a lot of, and see if we can bring anybody else in that we may need with the 500,000 that we have got. We only managed to bring in one player over the summer, and it is Cammy Devlin, a 27-year-old defensive midfielder from Hearts, and we steal him for an incredible £275,000. Was just under the budget at £4,500 a week, so it's a fantastic little player. Like I say, 27 years old, 5'7", very mentals look very, very good indeed. Physical's not too bad. Some of these stats have gone up already, acceleration and first touch, so that's pretty good to see. He's already had some games with us already, and he's not doing too bad, although he has picked up 4 yellow cards in 7 games. So we are going to be playing with 2 forwards, and we have locked Devlin in because he just wasn't being picked for some reason. But a 4-2-4 I felt like was a lot more attacking and what we needed to be, I think. We have got a couple of CAM players, but they're on loan to us, so that it just didn't make sense for them to be playing, and we couldn't bring anybody else in to fit in the CAM position. We had a couple of DMs as well, quite a few defenders. Forwards we had amples of. It just made sense to go with this formation for the time being. Out of possession, we just drop him back, and one forward is dropping back as well, so who that will be remains to be seen. So if we do pick our best 11, we have got a couple of players, well, one player that's out on loan at the moment, but we are playing a youngster, if I can find him, Lasetic. He's 21 years old, bags of potential. I'm hoping he'll do the job for us this season, and maybe next season we will see Zokler come in, because he's 26 years old as well. He looks fantastic. He's scoring a few goals already. So, yeah, it'd be nice to see some of them players come in. But other than that, the side doesn't look too bad at that. Having said that, it has been up and down. We did have a really good 1-1 draw with Real Madrid, however. That's after losing to Antwerp 2-0, which just didn't make sense. We did get off to our campaign in the league against Hearts with a 2-0 victory. We drew with Hearts. We beat Dundee United and Falkirk, although we lost to Falkirk in the League Cup after extra time. It was away from home, but still doesn't excuse the fact. And the Europa League, there's a qualifying. We beat Red Star 2-0 and lost 2-1 away, which did enable us to get into the group stage. And we've got Malmo, Dinamo Kyiv, Feyenoord, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Genk, Nice, Roma and Aston Villa. We are currently in line, second in the table. That one draw to Celtic with Rangers a game in hand, just that 1 point ahead. Celtic are right behind us, but again we've played 1 game less than them as well, so they've drawn 3 games, so it is going to be a battle at the top once again. Hearts bottom of the table. The season preview, however, sees us way down in 6th position, so 50-1 to win the league. So just that one signing didn't really do any justice to us really, but Rangers and Celtic obviously dominating that Dream 11. So let's jump into our first season and let's see how the lads do. We had a very good September where we remained unbeaten. Then we had a good result against Dundee, 1-0 at home in the October, but that was our only win in that month, which consisted of draws against St Mirren, Hibs and Kilmarnock. November gave us an early Christmas present with a battering of Motherwell before finishing off the year with a 3-1 victory away at Hibs. March saw us beat Rangers for the first time this season as we win 4 games on the bounce in the Championship section before losing out to Celtic and Rangers to finish off the season, giving us an overall 3rd place finish, which I cannot not be happy about. We finished 8 points behind Rangers in the end. We did lose 10 games, however, but we only conceded 41 goals, which, considering the formation, which is quite attacking, that's not bad at all, which suggests we just need to upgrade our defenders a little bit. I think that is about it, but apart from that, that's a really good season. Celtic ran away with it, as you would probably expect, but Rangers, we nearly caught up with them. The Europa League, however, different story. 23rd place, we only just managed to scrape through to the knockout rounds, finishing on goal difference really, and a point above 25th Dinamo Kyiv. But some big clubs going out: Steaua Bucharest, Panathinaikos go out, PAOK, Malmo, even Rangers didn't even make it. So we've done pretty well, despite the fact that I was a little bit disappointed to finish that low. The knockout round, we played Porto and had a very, very good 1-0 victory in the second leg, giving us a 1-0 overall win. And that's as far as we progressed. We played Nottingham Forest in the round of 16 and got humiliated really. Just battered 4-0 over the 2 legs, which it could have been a lot worse. And it was actually Forest who went on to win it over Roma in the end, beating them 3-0 in the final. The rest of the competitions, however, we did go out very early on in the League Cup. The Scottish Cup, however, it doesn't say where we got knocked out, but we did get knocked out. We got as far as the 5th round, losing to Hibs 3-1. Again, another disappointing story in the cup competitions. Squad-wise, however, I'm pretty pleased with our strikers, at least anyway, especially Marco, who's 22 years old, 22 goals. That's pretty good with 6 assists, 25 for Kevin Nisbet, now 29 years old, so we'll probably look to replace him at some point, but at the moment he's currently injured though, and he has been since May, so probably contributed to the 2 losses against Rangers and Celtic towards the end of the season. 8 assists there for Armstrong, the 34-year-old. He will need to be replaced at some point. Maybe we change the formation, I don't know, but at the moment we're doing pretty well. 23-year-old Topi Keskinen, 2 and 5, not too bad. I'm guessing he was out on the wing. I would like to see a lot more assists though, especially from our wingers. 7 assists there for Shinnie. I'm guessing left back or DM role. Again, 34, he needs to be replaced. And we did, towards the end of the season, we did the second half of the season, sorry, we did lock in Emmanuel Guillaume because he wasn't getting any game time, and I meant to lock him in right at the beginning, and I thought I'd better do that now. And he has improved one hell of a lot, has the youngster, 21 years old. He's definitely going to be our number 1 left back next season. 9 assists, that's not bad considering we put him in the January. A goalkeeper, however, Dimitar Mitov, not a bad season, 64 conceded and 54 with 18 clean sheets. Got to be happy with that. And our backup goalkeeper Nick Sumon played 1 game and he conceded just 1 goal. So again, backup not doing too bad. Goalkeeper wise, we don't need to worry about it just yet, I don't think. Although his contract does run out next season, so we will have to look at that a little bit more closely. But other than that, I think the lads have done pretty well. I'm just hoping we get a little bit of money, as we will be in Europe again next season. Not sure whether we have to go through the playoffs again, but we'll see. And we'll be starting off next season with a 7.75 million transfer budget with an increase of wages of nearly 30k a week. So again, not too bad. So we've got to be happy with that. And we have got 13 mil in the bank as well, which suggests it has gone up a fair bit as well. So let's get a spending. So for £7 million to spend, we still managed to make a little bit of business, bringing in an extra £275,000 with the players down here. Fringe players not going to get any game time, and a few going out on loan as well. But in reverse order, we do bring in Joel Bogan as a free agent. He's going to be our left back. Great potential, looks pretty decent, 25 years old. We also bring in Tyler Ayongo, another free agent, paying about £6 grand a week, £8 grand a week in fact. He's going to be in midfield. He can also play in defence and DM, so that's going to be pretty handy for us, an all-rounder as well. We also bring in Miodrag Pivas from Newcastle. I think he was under 23-year-old, 21 years old. He's going to be in, again, a DM option, midfield or centre-back option as well. So we've got some players that can play down the middle, which is going to be quite handy for us. Lyle Cameron, he comes in midfield. He hasn't played for us yet because apparently he's injured. I didn't even notice when that happened. He might have injured himself upon signing his name on the contract. I don't know, but he comes in as a 23-year-old. Again, midfield, can also play cam or wing. And our main signing, £4.7 million. We're bringing Arthur Avram Abong as our main midfielder this season. So we are changing the formation up a little bit to accommodate two midfielders, and he looks superb. 21 years old, looks absolutely immense. So we are going with a 4-3-3 with in possession, we're just dropping the wingers back. Hopefully this will help us out a fair bit, but if we do pick our best 11, hopefully then players will come into the team. Nisbet keeps his place up at top. The wingers, they're the ones next that we're going to sort out, I think, but Abon comes in, Cameron's in there. Devlin keeps his place in the DM option. Oniango comes in as a centre-back option. Bogan coming on that left-hand side. So very, very happy with the players that we have got in. Okay, where do we start? So we were in the Europa Conference League, but we had to play qualifiers, which was very disappointing, I'm not going to lie. So we had to go through 3 rounds, I think. We played Urartu. We beat them 4-0 over the 2 legs. Then we played Stejanen. We beat them 6-3 over the 2 legs. Then we played... can't even pronounce this name here. Beat them 2-0 and 3-1, which got us into the Conference League stage, which is quite a long-winded way to get around it. But we play Larn, Brighton are in there, Spartak, Narva, Braga, Medalist 1925 Kharkiv, and Luzern. Yeah, quite an array of teams in there. In the league, however, if I can find where we are, because we can't filter it for some bizarre reason, which I'm not really liking. Played Hibs, we beat them 2-1. We did beat Motherwell 5-2. Played a cup game against Dunfermline, beat them 4-2. Dundee we beat 3-0. We did lose to Kilmarnock before beating Dundee United. So yeah, we've got off to a great start so far. And currently we are at the second spot because of that loss. 4 games, 1 out of 5. Rangers are 5 for 5 currently. And Celtic, again, starting off slow. This season we are predicted a 3rd place finish, 50-1. So we're better than the rest of them. So let's jump into our second season. And let's see if we can make a better start than we did last time around. We start off incredibly well once again with wins over St Johnstone. Did however lose to Rangers, who proved to run away with it towards the end of the season, but we do come back with a 1-0 win over Kilmarnock. Hibs provided an 8-goal thriller in a 5-3 win for ourselves, and St Mirren didn't want to not get on the act as they conceded 5 against us in a 5-2 loss. We did however get one over Celtic though, 2-1, and we did them again in the April late on as we enter the championship phase, but we still can't beat Rangers. However, we finished second. We separated Rangers and Celtic. Celtic finished in 4th. Dundee United gave us a run for our money, however, as we finished 4 points ahead of them in the end, but a staggering 15 points behind Rangers. We conceded 8 losses. However, we scored 71 goals, conceding just 36. The Conference League, however, we finished in 15th position, fortunately and very disappointingly, in fact. 3 wins, a draw and 2 losses, but we do qualify for the knockout round where we played Legia Warsaw and we beat them only just, however, winning 6-5 over the 2 legs. The round of 16 we played Bodo Glimt and we beat them 5-3. Quarterfinals we played Brighton. After a 0-0 draw away from home, we beat them 2-1 at home to progress to the semi-finals where we'll play either Torino, Young Boys or Wolfsburg. And it was in fact Torino and we hit them 4-2 after a 3-1 away leg win. And in the final we'll play Wolfsburg, who absolutely hammered Young Boys 6-2. And after a 1-1 draw in extra time, we managed to go and win it through penalties. Fantastic result. So to go alongside the Europa Conference League as we are crowned European champions, the Scottish Cup we got knocked out very earlier on. We reached the quarterfinals where we got absolutely battered by St Mirren, with Celtic going on to beat Hibs in the final. And the League Cup quarterfinals again, St Mirren beat us in this one. Yeah, I don't like St Mirren somehow. Squad-wise, however, Nesbitt, 32 goals from 52 games. Absolutely remarkable. Topi Keskinen on the left-hand side, 19 and 15. Superb. Vavage as well, 12 and 12, not bad for the 21-year-old. Ebong, 11 and 14, fantastic. Cameron, 8 and 2. Good to see our signings getting involved, and Joel Bogan weighs in with 4 and 3. Disappointingly, not many assists, but the damage was already done with the guys up front, so I can't complain too much. And a goalkeeper conceded 67 and 62, so Dimitar Mitov did reasonably well. He's now 30 years old. Hopefully we might grab him for another season with 21 clean sheets. That's quite impressive. As we go into next season with £14 million now in the bank and a £13 million transfer kitty with no debts remaining as well. That's even better news. So let's go ahead and spend this money and see if we can improve the side a little bit more. So I feel like this was another very good window, as we do get rid of a few players, quite a lot of them going out on loan, including some of the youngsters, but we do lose some first teamers, really are fringe players to be honest. Not for much money, 52k in total. However, we do bring in some more players, and we'll go in reverse order. For £1.1 million at deadline day, Josh Griffiths comes in. Backup goalkeeper. He has the potential to be our number one, 6'5". He was quite happy to play as backup. He may get some game time this season, as I do believe he's better than our current goalkeeper, who is now 30, who will be 31 by the end of the season, so we'll be looking to replace. So as long as Josh Griffiths can come in and do a job for us, I'll be quite happy. And he's got some potential on him as well at 25 years old. Next up, which I feel is the bargain of the century, as you can see, 5 games, 7 goals, 1 assist, 2 player of the match awards, playing at 7.96 and nearly cost 700k. It's Michael Noonan from Shamrock Rovers. He's a striker at 6 foot. We're locking him in for this season. Bags of potential. He's only 19 years old, and he has the ability to go all the way, and he's left-footed as well, so you don't get many left-footed players nowadays. Next up is Odell Afire, a right back, played 6 games for us already, playing at 7.02. He did cost £2 million though from Preston, but he comes in as a 6'2", pretty quick right back, and yeah, he's going to slot straight into that position. And our signing of the season so far, which I'm beginning now, is Noonan. We've got Ross Graham, who hasn't played a game yet, which is a little bit worrying, so I may have to lock him in because he should be playing unless he's injured. But he comes in as a 26-year-old from Dundee United, I think he was, 6'3", £12 million. It's a lot of money, but I think money well spent. So as you can see, we are locking in Noonan, but I do believe he will be our number one choice anyway. But if we do a quick pick on our best 11, we've got a very strong side, and Yango does come in to that right hand side, which I do feel it should be Graham, unless Graham's not happy about playing as that position. I don't know. He is a centre back, so maybe we push him to a centre back. Maybe that's what we have to do, and if we just repick again, Yango comes straight back in, so we may have to lock him in for that position as well. But other than that, the side is pretty much similar to what it was last season, and we've done remarkably well again. Sheffield United, however, we got battered last season by them. We smashed them this season, so I'm quite happy about that. A friendly cup we played, we lost to Kaiserslautern 4-2 in the final, but we did start off the campaign against St Mirren, who were our bogey team last season, as they knocked us out of both competition. We went and beat them 4-3, and that was before Noonan came into the club. But Celtic was a 2-0 fantastic victory, Noonan getting off the mark in that game. We did play Dundee 4-1 in the cup, Noonan netting the brace in that one. We smashed Motherwell 3-0, Noonan hat-trick, and Hearts we've just beaten 1-0, Noonan again on the score sheet. And just recently on deadline day as well, Rangers 1-1, Bogan getting that goal, our left back. We're on our way to a very good start at the moment. The Europa League, which we are now in, we've got Copenhagen, we've got Osasuna, Maccabi Tel Aviv, PSV Eindhoven, Dinamo Zagreb, Partizan, Ajax and Fiorentina. and we're currently lying top of the table, even with that one draw, and we are 2 points ahead of Dundee United, who I feel are going to cause us a problem again this season. Celtic are close behind, having lost 2 games already, and Rangers have fallen further behind, 2 wins and 2 draws so far with that 1 loss. Preview for this season has us in 3rd position still, but now our slashed price has gone from 50 to 20 to 1 now, which is fantastic, and I don't think we've got anybody in the Dream 11 just yet. So yeah, we're going to have to start raiding these clubs instead if we're going to get a player at least in there. So let's jump into our 3rd season. Let's see if we can do better in Europe and once again split the 2 big guys up again in the league. We had a fantastic unbeaten run in the October with wins over Dundee United away from home, and then spanked Celtic again away from home. Noonan off the mark in just under a minute in that game. Ross County were soundly beaten 5-2 the following month, and come January we went and beat Rangers at home. Noonan getting a brace in this game, and in the same month Celtic were beaten as well, so we're having a great old time against the old firms. Hearts didn't even stand a chance against us in the February as we started to mount a serious challenge on top of the table, and Motherwell didn't fare any better either. We did start to struggle towards the end of the season, but we did manage to beat Ross County 5-0. We beat Celtic once again 1-0, and the final game of the season sees us draw 0-0 with Rangers. And that remarkably in turn gave us the league title. We finish a good 9 points clear of Celtic, who managed to steal 2nd spot from Dundee United, who just seemed to waver towards the last 5 games of the season. But Celtic were somewhere down here with Rangers, and Rangers finished considerably. Is that 16 points behind us? That's a huge amount to be behind. And we only lose 7 games, conceding just 49 goals, which seems an awful lot, but we did score 90 goals, incredibly. The Europa League, this time we finish in 14th position, 4 wins, 4 losses. We did have a +2 goal difference, which isn't too bad. And I think we finished about 4 points from the top 8, unfortunately, but we were comfortably in the qualifying for the next round, of which we played Osasuna. And thanks to a 4-0 home leg win, we win this tie 5-1 overall. Celtic also go through. Round of 16 we played Red Bull Salzburg and we beat them 4-1 over the 2 legs, thanks to another 2 goals in the tie, this time away from home, winning that one 2-0. And unfortunately that's where it ended. The 3-0 first leg loss at Forest was the main undoing in this tie, even though we did draw 3-3 at home, giving a good account of ourselves, but we still go out 6-3. And Newcastle are in there as well. They beat Fiorentina 6-1. Nice beat Basel 7-4 over the 2 legs, and Sporting overcome Copenhagen 6-5. Their overall winners was Newcastle in the end, winning that one 3-1. The League Cup, however, we got to the final and beat Celtic once again. I'm sure Celtic will be absolutely sick and tired of playing us, but we beat them in extra time 3-2 with goals from Babic, Keskinen and Lazetic as well. That one coming in the last kick of the game, in fact. The Scottish Cup was won by Dundee United over Rangers, as we bowed out in the 5th round to Dundee United 4-3 after extra time. There's been a massive improvement on the squad as a 41 goal hero, Michael Noonan, the 19-year-old super striker. Can't believe he's only worth 11.5 million. 41 goals. I mean, 53 goal contributions in 53 games is absolutely incredible. And I'm awfully glad we stuck with him when we bought him for 700,000, which is a bargain considering what he's worth now. Milanovic, he weighs in with 17 and 14, 15 and 16 for Keskinen as well, 13 and 9 for Cameron, 11 and 11 for Babic, the 22-year-old playing on the right-hand side. He's had a good season once again. The price tag mounting up to 2.8 million, which doesn't seem an awful lot, but yeah, that's not too bad at all. Nesbitt still weighs in with 9 goals. And Graham, we did lock him in the end. Doesn't look like he's improved an awful lot for the 12 million we paid for him, but he is worth up to 19 million, although he did get 7 goals this season. Abong comes in with 11 assists alongside his 7 goals and 12 assists for Bagon as well, our left back, which is fantastic. He's now in 26 actually. It doesn't seem like he's improved an awful lot at all, to be honest. So I'm still reluctant to look for somebody at that position because he's only 26, like I say, and I'd expect him to have gone up a little bit further than that, I think. And a goalkeeper, that is something we will have to look at next season. Josh Griffiths did get some game time, 2 games, conceding 3 with 1 clean sheet. As Mitov now into his 30s, 77 conceded in 56. So it does look like Griffiths is going to take over as the number 1 jersey next season unless we bring somebody else in. But again, I think we probably cash in on the Mitov now, 6.2 million. If we can do that, maybe we bring somebody else in, maybe a backup once again, but we'll see what happens. So going into next season, our finances have gone up a little bit more this time, 15, nearly 16 million, and unfortunately we've only been given 6.75 million to spend this time around. Finances don't seem to be a thing in Scotland, unfortunately, but we do have a little bit of wages and some scouting as well, and the original debt was 3 million. I'm sure it was less than that, maybe I'm mistaken, but still no debts, as the net debt is going to be 0 anyway. So let's get on to the window and let's get a spending. Pre-season hasn't even started before we lost our major player of the team. It's Arthur Abong. He's gone to Lille. He went for just under £10 million, giving us a profit of 5 million, but 10 million just doesn't do justice at all. An absolute stud of a player. We also lose our goalkeeper, Dimitar Mitov. He went to Sofia for £4 million, a profit of 3.8, and Jensen has gone to Brøndby, our right back up for 1 million with a bit of profit as well, and a young player going out on loan. So we didn't spend all of our money that we've got in. We did have about 15 million to spend, 12.5 we did in the end. First up from Everton, Harrison Armstrong comes in. He's played 10 games already, 1 goal, 3 assists, a replacement for Abong. I don't think you could replace him, but we're having a damn good go. He's 21 years old and looks pretty decent as well. We also bring in Sinsala, a goalkeeper from Celtic. I think he was their second choice goalkeeper. 625,000. I think that is a bargain for the 6'3" goalkeeper. We also bring in right back Christian Graciano. You're on a free agent. He's played a game for us so far as a backup, really. And he can slot into that position very, very easy at 25 years old. And we bring in one more player, 1.8 million, Nino Milic, a left back from Bologna, 24 years old, young, good potential, very, very solid. So as the formation worked superbly last season, we are just changing a couple. The left back position is going to a full back position now because it best suits our new signing. But if we do pick our best 11, Oyango still comes in, Cameron and Armstrong in the midfield. So we're looking very, very good now. And I think we can challenge for the title yet again. And as you saw, some of our players have played 10 games already. And this is why, because we're in the Champions League and we had to play the qualifying rounds. Unfortunately, I cannot filter them out. But the first one, I think it was the second qualifying round. We played Levadia. We beat them 3-1 away from home and drew 2-2 at home. Then we played Cups and we beat them 1-0 and 1-1. And then we played Hacken 2-2 and we drew 1-1 away, winning that on penalties, which got us into the Champions League, of whom we will now play Victoria Pleasant. We've got Villarreal, Real Madrid, Napoli, Inter Milan, Stuttgart and Bialystok. There's a few teams there I think we could go ahead and win. But the league campaign, we started off against Hibs. We beat them 2-1. Ross County 3-2. We did lose to Motherwell, surprisingly. Falkirk we beat and Dundee as well. And in the League Cup, we beat Stenhousemuir 3-0 to progress to the next round, of which now we will play Hibs. The league at the moment, we are lying in 3rd position. Because of that one loss, we are 3 points behind the current leaders Celtic, who seem to have got themselves back on top, and Rangers just ahead of us as now. So this could prove to be a very, very solid and hard season, which we're definitely up for the challenge, I feel. Preview sees us 10-1 now to win the league. Okay, we're up against the big boys now. So hopefully we can split them up, and on top of that, see if we can beat both of them again. And unfortunately, we still haven't got anybody in this Dream 11. We're getting there. We're getting very, very close. So let's jump into our 4th season, and let's see if we can retain the title and get another one over the old firm. So we started off well in our defence of the title campaign with a thrashing of Hearts away from home 5-1 with 5 different goal scorers. However, our main title rivals are Rangers, we lost to, and then in quick succession we lost to Dundee United straight after. And come late November, Celtic got the better of us as well. However, January we only lost one game, and that was a cup game. We beat Hibs 3-1, Motherwell 1-0 and Falkirk 1-0 as well. We were slowly getting back on track and keeping up with the guys at the top. Celtic a 2-2 away draw, which was a fantastic result. And then by the end of March we beat Rangers 2-1 going into the Championship stage. Dundee United, one of our closest rivals of late, we battered them 7-4, followed by a 1-1 draw with Celtic going into the final 2 games, and with only ourselves, Dundee United and Celtic being the forerunners. Celtic closing in on the title as well. They lost to Hibernian in the penultimate game, and unfortunately so did we, as we lost 1-0 away at Dundee United going into the final game to decide who will win the league. Celtic on the other hand winning 1-0 at Falkirk in the 89th minute with a second goal to finish the game off, and causes a little bit of problems in that final game where we go into it having to win. With some great work by Celtic there, but at this precise moment in time, Celtic were winning. However, back at Pittodrie, we played Rangers in the final game of the season, and we had to wait till the 72nd minute for Noonan to score the winner, which could enable us to win the league, possibly. And that result, that 1-0 result against Rangers, gave us the Premiership title for a second season on the bounce, just 1 point ahead of Celtic, who up to that point were top of the table, and just praying Rangers would deny us the victory, of which they just could not do. And in the end we do finish a good 9 points ahead of Rangers in the end. Dundee United still in that mix, with Celtic finishing just 1 point behind with a lot better goal difference as well, but we managed to hold on. Both of us faltering towards the end of the season. The Championship group was getting very, very serious, especially with Dundee United in the mix as well. But a second title gives us possibly another chance at the Champions League in our final season. And speaking of the Champions League, the group stage, we beat Victoria Pleasant 1-0 away from home before failing to beat Villarreal. Real Madrid, we didn't fare any better, losing that one 3-0. However, we did beat PSV 4-2 away from home. Napoli was a close 2-1 defeat. Inter, we got smashed 4-0 before finishing the group stage with a 4-0 victory over Stuttgart and a 3-0 over Jagiellona, which did give us a 17th place finish, which I'm really happy about. I didn't expect us to qualify, although deep down I was really hoping we would do, just to get through to the next stage, and I think we did that quite comfortably in the end. A good 3 points, and to be honest, we weren't that far behind 8th place, probably just 2 wins behind actually, to be honest. And Man City missed out on the top 8, finishing in 9th, and surprisingly of all, Newcastle were the only team unbeaten at this stage. So I went off to the knockout round, and unfortunately we played Bayern Munich and got absolutely pummeled after a 0-0 home draw. We went away to Germany, and yeah, we just got smashed, unfortunately. But good experience for the lads. We go again next season. The eventual winners being Arsenal after extra time over Liverpool. The Scottish Cup, we got as far as the 4th round, losing to Falkirk at home 2-1. And in the League Cup, we got as far as the semi-finals, losing to Falkirk again, this time 2-0 away from home, with Falkirk winning the cup. Well done to them on penalties against St Mirren. Noonan, top goal scored once again, 26 goals this time, not as many as last season, but 26 all the same, with 7 assists. Is looking pretty good. He's only 20 years old, mind. Some of his stats have gone up, probably not as much as we would have liked, but he still could improve a lot more. We got Armstrong as well, playing really well, 13 and 6, 10 and 11 for Beveridge as well, which is pretty decent for the 23-year-old. Keskinen, 9 and 8, not bad from the left wing, I think. Would like a few more assists though, to be honest. And Cameron as well, 8 and 8. So a lot of players getting involved. Afire, 7 assists, and Milic as well, 9 assists from left back position, which is fantastic as well. Goalkeeping wise, it looks like Josh Griffiths stole the number 1 jersey from Vijami, which I thought would come in and take that jersey. Played 2 games, conceding 3, but Griffiths, who's now probably establishing himself as the number 1 now, which we thought he would do from last season, And yeah, there's no reason to change anything there, to be honest. He's 6'5" though as well, 27 years old, conceding 66 in 55 with 17 clean sheets. So going into our final season, can we consolidate and win again the Premiership? And this time, can we go and win a domestic double or something? That would be amazing. As we look at the finances, we have got 36 million in the bank and 19.5 almost in the transfer kitty. With not much wages though, so we may have to up that a little bit. So we'll probably end up with about 15 million to spend as we go again next season. So for the final time, transfers out. We lose a couple of players. A youngster, Teasdale's gone to St Mirren for 63,000, and we lose Noesta and Tobers as well. First signing, Matthew Smith from Queen's Park, £1.5 million. He comes in as an 18-year-old, a centre-back, 6'6", with a lot of heading, jumping reach, looks phenomenal, and 18, he will get his chance with a lot of potential. Next up is from St Mirren. He's scored a goal in one game already. 2.8 million is Evan Mooney, a young striker, 21 years old. He's going to be rivaling Noonan up top. And yeah, he looks really, really good with high potential. Could improve quite a lot as well. Next up is a free agent who's scored 6 goals in 7 games with 4 assists. And he didn't cost us nothing at all. It's Xavier Bisquezachu. Apologise for getting it wrong. Mexican, 24 years old. He's going to be playing as a cam or right winger. Looks pretty good, and yeah, his tentacles look a lot better than the majority of them actually. Next up is Bernardo Vidal from a team I cannot pronounce. I think we played him in the Champions League last season. £2.5 million. He comes in as a defender, 6'2". He is 28 years old. We just need a bit more experience at the back. Casey McAteer, a free agent, 3 goals, 7 assists in 6 games. Can't ask for more than that, can you? He comes in as a right winger. He can play on the left hand side as well, actually, to be honest. 27 years old, again, a lot of experience, and he's doing a job for us already. Next up is Everton Araujo, another free agent. He comes in as a defensive midfielder. And finally, we bring in Callum Doyle from Leicester for £6.5 million. He hasn't played yet, 6'3". He's going to be one of our centre-backs for this season. So 13.25 being brought in, which isn't too bad at all, considering we almost got a whole new side here. So picking our best 11, this is the formation we're going to be going with. We're going to go with a cam player, a midfielder and a DM. I want to really attack the league this season. We want to go 3 for 3 if we can, and obviously split up the old firm. And also we want to do well in Europe as well, so we want to try and get past the league stage and go a little bit further as well in that. Although Ayango still seems to be clambering on to this position in the side. If he can't get into defence, he's going into the DM role. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Devlin should really come in for that, or Povas as well. So it might be a case we move him along, but we'll see what happens. I'm sure Devlin will come back into the side at some point. And we've started off superbly, scoring goals for fun. Dundee United, we smashed 5-0. Hearts 2-0. The League Cup, we only got past Cove Rangers 2-0. The Champions League, we played Ludogorets, we smashed them 5-1 and lost 4-2 away, but we still progressed 7-5 overall. Smashed St Johnstone 8-0, and look at the Rangers score, 6-0 away from home. I don't know how we'll manage for the rest of the season, but be disappointed if we don't get anything from this. And I don't think we've conceded a goal in the league at the moment. I don't think we have, actually. That's brilliant. The Champions League for this season, we've got Copenhagen, Real Madrid, Lyon, Dortmund, Liverpool, Napoli, Basel and Lens. I think we could progress from that, judging from some of these score lines. And the league, we are top of the table. We've scored 21 goals in 4 games. I'd love to say that's going to go for the remainder of the season, but we shall see. But that is absolutely amazing without conceding a goal as well, which is superb. Celtic are right behind us with Dundee United and Rangers, so the usual 3 behind, with Hearts trying to muscle in on the act as well. Preview for this season, we're in 3rd position, but 4-1 now with Celtic evens and Rangers 13-5, and we have got Keskinen and Milic in the Dream 11. Let's jump into our final season and let's see what sort of chaos we can cause. And so for the final time, we saw some great results this season with a 5-1 battering of Dundee United. Celtic got a taste of the medicine at their place. We beat them 2-1. Falkirk have always been a thorn in our side, always a surprising loss to them, but we beat them 3-0 away from home. St Johnstone got a mauling 4-0. Ross County was another team that got mauled also, and towards the end of the season with wins over Celtic and Hearts proved too strong for everybody else around them, even though we did lose to Falkirk and a 1-0 loss to Rangers. But that didn't matter either way as we lift the league title again, this time for the third time on the bounce, which is absolutely amazing. Scoring 84 goals, conceding just, and I mean just, 27 goals. That's amazing, and we win the title by 9 points in the end from Celtic and Rangers, who struggled to get anywhere near us. Rangers lost 12 games. Wow. Celtic drawing too many and losing a few, but obviously the draws cost them quite a bit this season. But as you can see, nobody really got into any bit of form towards the last 5 games of the season, with Hibs dropping off dramatically, losing 4 of their last 5. The Champions League got off to the worst start possible as one of the teams we expected to beat. We lost 4-1-2, that was Copenhagen, because Real Madrid came to town and they absolutely thrashed us 4-1. Lyon was another tough tie, making it 3 losses out of 3, losing that one 1-0, before we got our first points on the board with a 1-1 draw at home to Dortmund. But that didn't last long. We lost 5-1 at Liverpool before having a fantastic victory against Napoli. Basel, we drew 1-1 and then finishing off with a 2-1 victory over Lens. And we're not in the top 24, unfortunately. In fact, we finished 28th and we bowed out of the Champions League in disappointing manner. However, Porto and Roma themselves didn't go through it. Even Milan we finished above of as well. Eindhoven also. I mean, some big teams not qualifying to the next round, with only one team unbeaten, and that was Manchester City, with Real Madrid taking top spot. The final decided between Arsenal and Bayern Munich, with Arsenal coming through winners. The League Cup, we got as far as the semi-finals, losing to Hibs 1-0, who will play Dundee United, who beat Falkirk 2-1. With Dundee United taking the final 3-1. We do, however, get to the final of the Scottish Cup, with Yongo netting the 3rd goal in a 3-0 win. And despite not being able to get into the defence, he still manages to get onto the field and score a goal. But a 3-0 win to complete a domestic double, I think of which we thoroughly deserved. So overall, you can see that Aberdeen scored the most goals this season. We had the most shots for as well, 701, and conceding only 324, which isn't bad at all. We had the most clean sheets as well, and fewest conceded, which is absolutely fantastic, with the highest average rating player, Keskinen, with 7.24. Noonan got the golden boot with 29 goals. Most assists by Keskinen as well, 15. Griffiths, most clean sheets. And Xavier with 130 shots, the most in the league. He also gets the most key passes as well. Xavier also gets 21 goals in 37, being 3rd in the race for the Golden Boot as well. So Noonan looks pretty decent at 21 years old. He's had a good career with us so far, 3 seasons, and he's done remarkably well. What's that, 50, 60, 79 goals in 90, 100 games? That's crazy. So overall, can't be too mad really. We win the Scottish Cup, win the Premiership again. Disappointing in the Champions League we couldn't get any further, but it's just a tough competition to be in. But once again, looking at our squad, Noonan at top scores with 35 goals and 5 assists. Xavier with 26 and 13, fantastic from him. Keskinen, 12 and 19, 12 and 18 for McAteer. Not bad on that right-hand side or left-hand side, or whichever side he was playing actually. And Evan Mooney, we brought him in as a backup striker, 11 goals in 12 starts, which is fantastic. Armstrong weighs in with 9 assists, 7 assists here for Babbage as well. I mean, everybody else did contribute of some sort to the season. And Griffiths, wow, what a season. 26 clean sheets, 50 goals conceded in 54 games. That is superb. And our backup goalkeeper, just that one game with that 1 clean sheet. But other than that, I think everybody got some game time, which is fantastic. Even Jack Milne came off the bench, get some minutes. And just to remind you, this save will be available to you on Ko-fi.com. I'll leave the link down in the descriptions, where you will inherit this team, this very young team actually, although there are a few players starting to creep up a bit into the late 20s, but a very dominant team in Scotland now, I think. And with that, you will also be getting, if I can find it, the finances, you will have £30 million in the bank, and you will have £8 million in the transfer kitty, which doesn't seem an awful lot considering what we have done recently, which is a little bit of a shame, but I'm sure you'll be able to sell 1 or 2 players and bring in some better ones in as well. Right, that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment down below if you would like to see a particular team rebuilt as well. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.